Hello, everyone. I'm going to invite Ben or tell Ben to get on this call. Let's see if he can. Him and I are starting a series of a Tuesday market update with your favorite real estate agent, me, and your join on video. Bring them on to video. You an invite, and your favorite lender, Benjamin Larson with Future First Mortgage. I know there's a lot of noise out there in the real estate market, so we are just going to do we are just going to do updates. Try not to show my double chin of what's going on in the real estate market. Can I hear you, Ben?
Can you hear me?
Yep. What's going on in the real estate market? Just a few questions. More of our questions are towards buyers, and then one other bonus question I popped in there for him. And I will give you an update on what's going on in King and Pierce County. And if you guys have any other counties you want information on, please let us know, or any questions that you may have. So we're actually going to do these on Tuesday earlier in the day, but time got ahead of us. So if there's any questions you guys have, pop them in the chat and we can either answer them today or next week on our live market update. So Benjamin with Future First Mortgage, my favorite, cutest lender out there. I'm going to tell them what's going on with King County. And then if you wanted to, hi Ebony, wanted to pop in for one of your questions, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So King County, we are seeing a pretty much level up year to year of inventory, which is crazy to me because it just seems like more homes are coming on the market. But year over year, we're still seeing a seller's market, which is about 1.4 months inventory supply. That is, if no one else put a home, no sellers listed their home in a month and a half, we'd run out of listings. So that's really, really exciting. The prices are still going up year over year. Days on market have increased though to about 30 days. So if your home's been on the market for a couple weeks and you are stressed out, just know you're not even to that average days on market yet for King County. So give it a little time. There still are properties that are flying off the shelves as well, that are priced under market value and condition. I've really noticed that buyers are very picky right now. And so if your home is done well, doesn't need a ton of improvements, and is priced right, it is going to sell quickly. And there's not a lot of competition in that area of what you're looking at. So, okay, Ben, that's King County. You have anything to add on King County?
No, it's pretty spot on.
Okay. So how are buyers winning in this market from your perspective as a lender?
How are buyers winning in this market from my perspective? I would say that the buyers that I see that are winning are the ones that are not giving up. You mentioned in the King County market that it's about 30 days on market. So if they are competitive homes that were just put on today and there's 4 or 5 offers, you may not win that one. You know, it may take you 2 or 3 or 4 offers on homes to finally get your home under contract. So if you give up after the first or second or third one, then you're missing out on your, potential home for your future. So I would say that what's really, really, really helping clients is the expectations behind the market and what's going on with someone who can educate you properly in the business and make sure that you're prepared for whatever may come at you when you're making an offer.
I love that. Yeah, I would say that's really good advice. And not being as picky right now, I think it's a great, lowering your expectations a little bit to get into the market and realize that this is an investment. So putting on your investor hat versus your home buying hat, I think is a really big deal too. And knowing that as long as the market keeps going, you're not looking to sell in the next couple years, which
Agreed.
still Homes have increased in the last couple years, so I would say you'd still be in a good position. But if you're really playing that long game for the next 5 to 7 years, you're going to be in a good position even if something did happen to the real estate market. So don't hesitate to jump in and take that action. Don't let fear decide or something that we can't overcome, that isn't necessarily as important. Really put those three must haves and stick to your guns on those, and everything else you can work through.
Agreed.
Okie dokie. So let's talk about Pierce County for a second. So Pierce County is a really move-in market right now. It's crazy. They have had a 11% increase in inventory year over year. So lots of different homes, lots of opportunity out there. They're just under 2 months inventory supply, which is still a seller's market, getting closer to a dual market, which means it's just the sellers still have the position. They've had a 5% increase in median price and average price year over year, and they're looking at about 41 days on market to sell. So that has increased from month over month. Last month it was 37, now it's 41. And what's really driving that, I feel, is the inventory. So because the inventory has really increased, you're going to see a lot more competition. And then with interest rates and everything, of course, the buyer demand of that fast moving process has really slowed down a ton, but things are still moving. October and November were great months in real estate in general. So people are still buying and selling. I would say Pierce County has the biggest opportunity for buyers right now. So if you're needing closing costs paid for, or maybe you want to buy down, or you're looking to maybe get a little off the price, negotiate some terms, I would definitely say Pierce County is your best bet for that. There is still some opportunities in King County, but the sellers are ahead in positions, most definitely in that area.
Nice.
So is that what you're seeing in Pierce County?
Um, I would say it depends on price point in Pierce County.
Yes.
I think the lower price points for first-time home buyers, like between, if there are any, high 200s into the 300s and possibly going into the fours, it's super competitive. I have a lot of pre-approved buyers that are missing out when they go into a home, and that's why setting proper expectations key. I think the higher price point in Pierce County is a little bit more on days on market. So I agree with. I mean, 41 seems like a lot. I'll be honest. I think it's, you said
Yeah,
41.
41 days. Yeah.
It seems like a lot when you say the number, but I just think that it's probably right on par with the average of, but that lower price point, I think, is moving a little quicker.
Well, and I think, like the average first time home buyer price is about 500, 550 overall King and Pierce County. And a lot of people, because interest rates are a little bit higher, are needing to stay around that 400 qualification, which we are starting to see in Tacoma, especially if people are willing to live out there and start building their wealth. Otherwise, they're going to have some tough competition looking elsewhere. With that being said, so you're right. Anything really under 450, unless it's in Tacoma, is a really challenging,
Yeah.
and for buyers right now
Don't give
out
up.
there. Yeah,
You'll get
don't give up though. It may take you a little bit longer, or you're going to have to change your expectations a little bit. Okay, what tips do you have for buyers who are worried about interest rates right now?
um, don't be.
Okay, that's so
Yeah,
easy, sure.
here's the thing. Rates over history, they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. Prices have pretty much steadily went up. So, if you look at it as, what is the best long-term investment for you as you're trying to build wealth in real estate, even if a rate is at 7 or even 8%. I know they've come back down into the sixes as of recently. You can always refinance and or use, depending on the program you get or what you do, you can use that to your advantage to do a buy down. Or in this type of market where rates are higher, you can end up getting some closing costs, where when rates, if you go back to COVID years where rates were as low as 2 and even lower, people were up paying more on homes of 20, 30, 40, 50 grand cash out of pocket. So it just depends on where you're at and what you're looking for. I think today, with rates where they are, a little bit better for first time home buyers, folks that don't have a lot of cash so that they can get into homes, and they should be taking advantage of that today. If you have a higher equity position or you have a lot of cash, you may want to wait a little bit to see if you can position yourself with rates.
Love that. Yeah, I think that's really, and really maybe not focusing so much on the rate, but looking at your overall
Mm.
payments. And that's one thing when we were meeting with a buyer yesterday, is she's like, well, what happens if I don't qualify? And I said, well, Ben and us will figure out how to get you qualified, right? And so she was turned down previously from a lender that didn't offer any help, just said she had bad credit. So she's just been working on it herself over the last year, trying to figure it out. And I really appreciate our partnership where we're able to look at the long game and see how we can help them in their future, whatever that may be. So whether it's interest rates, or you don't want someone to look at your credit, or you feel like you have a lot of debt, you don't know where to go, I would say the starting point is talking to a lender, preferably Ben, to look at your overall financial history and be able to create you a roadmap to where you need to go. Because when you think you're ready, typically most people have some stuff they need to work through and set themselves up for where your goal is at. And that takes time, and you're going to lose that time by not being ready, essentially, to buy when you think you are. So, okay, couple more. What type of loans are most of your clients using right now to purchase?
I would say that being strategic, they're using bond or one of the first time homebuyer programs, if you can qualify. And the income limits in King and Pierce County are huge. It goes up to over 175,000.
Mm.
So you can make quite a bit of money and still take advantage of one of these home buying products out there that takes care of the down payment for you. And there's so many more programs and products. Talk to your lender, talk to us. We definitely can help you look into kind of the advantages of that. But the best part about that loan and why people I think are taking advantage of that right now is because it keeps cash in your
Mhm.
pocket. Because with the rates being so high and the payments being a lot higher than maybe you want to spend, you can kind of hedge your payment so that you can have a payment of more what you're comfortable with, because that money is going towards the home anyhow. And then you can put yourself in a position when the rates do come down in the future that you've obtained and secured the home at a lower price. Even though that payment's a little higher, you can hedge that payment and put yourself in a position to refinance out of it.
I love that. Well, and you don't have to just be a first-time home buyer to utilize a lot of those zero down state bond programs, which is amazing. So essentially, you could buy a house. Our son did this. He's actually watching right now. Hi, Keanu. For as little as $1,000, right? If you get all of your closing costs paid for, in Pierce County and some in King County are still offering that. And so you could really take your cash and not buy a TV in the middle of the transaction, Keanu, but maybe just utilize it for other things and create a security into your investment, emergency fund, all of that. We're not in the days where you got to break the bank to get into buying a house like our grandparents used to say. So there's so many different programs out there. Again, start the process talking to figure out where that's at so that you can take advantage of what's out there to help. Okay. And bonus question. I get this all the time. I was actually just talking to a client about it today. They want to sell their home.
Okay.
But they have a 2.4 interest rate
Okay.
And they are so attached to that interest rate that they literally have will not make a decision and will just hold on to it versus doing their next financial wealth building. So what do we do with them?
I think what you need to do is you need to look at all options. And what I mean by that is they may not have to sell to buy.
Yep.
It may be the smartest decision in their wealth building career of what they're looking to do to keep the home and rent it out and use future rents and get pre-approved to purchase a home. Now, different programs and different products have different guidelines. Some you have to be 100 miles away, some you have to be, you have to there's just a lot of different things. So talk to your professional about what options you have, but you do have options to keep that asset at that low interest rate and either possibly do a second mortgage, a HELOC, or there's some new awesome programs out right now that are AI based that you can use to pull some equity out and leverage that home into purchasing your next investment home and or just your next primary residence. If you want to move to a lake, if you want to, live in a different county, if you want to move closer to family, whatever that may be, so that you don't have to sell traditionally like we used to be able to buy another home. So definitely reach out and talk and see what your options are. Your only option may be to sell. And over time, those rates will come back down. I don't know if they'll ever get into the twos again, but
I hope not.
they,
I mean that with all due respect, but I really hope not.
we would have
Because
to.
inevitably there's a cost to that, and most people don't realize that is, home prices went crazy, like we talked about before, that they were paying 50, 60, 70. I mean, some even a million over list price, right? And you're hedging your future equity at that point in order, low appraisal money, all that kind of stuff. You don't get that back, right? Like that is money that is a fixed cost that is gone. Your interest rate can fluctuate up and down, determine what's going on in the market. What you overpay for a property is not. So that market was a little too much and a little too crazy for everyone. And so, as glorious as it sounds, it wasn't the best on the other end. And I think people miss that because they get attached so much to that 2.4 or low threes interest rates. One more thing I was going to add about that and give a quick example is I had a client, past friend I was talking to last night, and she has a piece of land that she bought. She really wants to get it sold. And she used a HELOC. Her HELOC's at 13.5%. Husband, on their mortgage, they're at a 2 point something percent. And I just asked her, I was like, well, if you're taking your 13% HELOC payment and your mortgage payment at 2%, what is the average interest rate that you're actually paying on both of those properties? And people don't really see that, well, maybe if you did refinance both of them together, if that's possible and you qualify, maybe the interest rate at 6, 5.5, whatever it may be, might actually be saving you money. So, looking at your overall debt portfolio and not just getting attached to this one thing. People forget like your car payments, your credit card payments, all of these things that are costing you a much higher interest rate than just what's actually given on the mortgage industry as a whole. So,
I just yesterday morning had a conversation with a realtor
mm,
that she's in the middle of possibly increasing her wealth and buying another property. And we just happened to glance at what a second mortgage would do for her. And it was well over $970 a month.
mm,
All the debt that she had. So she is going to take care of that and get that going so that now that can increase her purchase power because she is also in that 3% range in
mm-hmm.
property can rent it for more than what the current monthly payment is. And instead of selling it and using the equity to buy the next home, she can leverage that for her future and then get to retirement
Yeah.
faster. So reach out if
Well,
you guys are in a position where you may think that you have a ton of debt, high interest credit cards, anything at off. And, we can definitely look at that for you and kind of strategize.
yeah, Micah said, I'm interested in paying off debt so we can start buying other properties. I love that. Yeah, call Ben and have him help you look at your portfolio. Hi, Lee.
I,
One of my favorite people in the whole wide
I
world.
wasn't able to people before, but now I just saw Lee show up and
Yeah.
Mike. Guys,
She's watching. Okay. So I love that. So don't I know it's really easy to want to hold on to that 2.4 or low interest rate. Just know that there's lots of different options out there, and a lot of people are house rich because a lot of their equity, a lot of their money or their wealth is built into their equity of their home, and they don't know what to do with
hi
it.
Shannon.
And so there is a lot of options that don't just require you selling to increase your wealth portfolio, whether you want to invest and buy a rental, turn your home into a rental, whatever it may be. Don't allow it just to stop you. Your lender and your real estate agent should be a partner with you in the growth of your wealth and life and legacy. And that's something that Ben and I really pride ourselves on is we're not just transactional clientele. We want to help you, whether you need connections to a financial planner or, a living will person, whatever that may be. We're really going to focus on that in this next year. So if you're just hopping on and missed it, this is our weekly market update. We went over King and Pierce County. We talked about different ways buyers are winning in this market, the focus on concern about interest rates, and what type of loans are out there. If there's anything that you guys want to ask in the future, you can always direct message us privately, or if you want to set up a one-on-one consultation with Ben to go over your financial situation and see what opportunities you have, that is also something you can do. So just direct message him on Facebook, or I'll put his phone number in the comments as well, and mine. So any other parting words today, Benjamin?
No, I love that we're doing this, and tell your friends, your family, everybody, come in with questions. I want to make sure that we continue to grow as a community and educate. The more education we can give in this space, the better we will all be. So,
I agree.
all right,
Awesome, awesome. Share the video, whatever you guys can do for help, and have a very blessed rest of your day.
take care.